part of history in your life. Your senior colleagues as well as your junior colleagues see it being fixed to call you, two of you, as one of people that they are always proud of, to call everybody here present to come and rejoice with you and pray for further progress in your life. So I'm presenting this gift to you, and I know this gift, you will never forget it in your life.
Thank you, Mom.
Mohammad Hadiza da HASSOBA da kuma a matsayina na tsohon ɗalibi babban yaya a ila 71 za mu yi abubuwa wannan kyauta daga HASSOBA wanda muna fata za kuma har a shagayi wasu ne wancan kuma muna fata za ka ci gaba da ayyuka wanda za ka taimaka wannan kungiya da wannan tsohon makaranta ta wuce.
Thank you very much, Saying Hadiza.
The representative of His Excellency, the Governor of Ghana State, Dr. Salalami CON, the in person of the Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, the Permanent Secretary Admin and Finance of the SNG's Office to Ghana State, the SAI of HAJ, the District of Tulabu, our able senior, I'm sorry, I cannot transpire. Apologies, sir. Our senior master, senior student, and not yet tired, really. Director of schools, HAJ HABib, who will soon join us, and impatient. My executive secretary, the Ghana State Urban Development Board. I say my executive secretary because I supervise his agency. The Accountant General of the Ghana State, HASSOBA National Chairman Representative, my co-recipient, Dr. Madugu, Professor. You see it, we are not even spoken, I've started to fumble. That's why I chose to start, because if you should start and I should speak, I will just speak in Hausa. Or else I am fumble like I've started. We thank the Almighty Allah in the first instance for giving us the opportunity and life to witness this very, very memorable occasion of our lives. Equally, we thank the management of the existing management of HAJ Secondary School. They call it Pante, but we're not really happy. We don't like it to be called Pante. What can we do? What can we do? They say it's Pante. So Government Secondary School.
Officially, Government Secondary School.
So the Pante is just a little something, but it's a history actually, because it's within the neighborhood. The neighborhood is in Pante. Gentlemen, invited guests, everybody that makes time to be here, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. In fact, you cannot have appropriate words in this little standing to express one's appreciation and honor or feeling in respect of this very, very magnanimous honor done to us, simply because you must believe that it is the handwork of very, very many people who must have been conceiving this for a very long time. And I like to inform the gatherers that we have formed it a tradition, class 75 particularly, I know of that very well, to be meeting almost every 3 months of the year. So we have been meeting ourselves, discussing. Some of us will meet on phone, some will send emails, and the rest of them. So it is really a very, very honorable decision. And before I go too long, let me seize this opportunity to urge us all here to please, in the name of Allah, ones, commencing from the beginning of middle primary school in Hadiza to date. Because like in my own particular class, I very know surely we lost well over 13 people. And some of these 13, all of them are important to us. But about 3 to 4 of them were very, very cooperative, contributive, and always in touch with HASSOBA. So let us take a few minutes, just a minute, to pray for all of them and for us to finish well. This, I will want to acknowledge the presence of our number 1 student, Mr. Stanley Benson Tunde Aishoro, who came here on an interview. They came here, about 5 of them on it. I'll let you 5. 7? 5 of you. 5 of them were transferred from Kaduna State, and we took 5 to Barewa. In fact, I was to go to Barewa. I started crying because it was too far away from Jam. Chairman Dwaki could local government, and of course, Garba and the rest of them. This gentleman came here on interstate exchange. This person came all the way yesterday from Lagos. And I wish to inform everybody here that this, for me not, but for a lot of our Igbo mates, this today is the 37th year we parted with them. Even with the of GSM, we lost contact. I met him on landline. I met him in person in 1991 at Ilorin. I went on a business trip. He was on his own, and luckily for him, ever since he has finished his NYSC, he has been on his own. He is a corporate person, he is a contractor, happily married with a public servant who is the director of pharmaceutical department in the University of Ilorin. Am I right? I met her, they were newly married. When I went, I was just playing with him like a small boy. The lady was not happy. Later when he told her the history, she had to open her face. Mr. Tunde Benson was number 1 student in our class on the list of, you know, when you put the exam result, there is number 1 and number last. The number 2 person is either 1 or 2 between him and Salim Aliu. And funny enough for us, till we left in July 1975, the 2 of them were HAJ 1 and 2, and they all came from Kaduna State. But definitely the 3rd person was from Jigawa, but it's not myself. I'm not Jigawa, none of them. Actually, it wasn't myself. In addition, he was the games prefect. And in fact, for those of us that are above 50 years here, they will know that this gentleman received awards more than 13 number here in the athletics field. He received every award that is mentioned. He is either number 1 or number 2. So actually, while we are very, very happy to be here again, we have always been coming and we impacted on everybody's life around. Mr. Stanley has come back today after 37 years, and he answered our call. I want to acknowledge his effort, and by this, or by about a month ago, we have made a reunion with him, and by the grace of God, maybe in the next 1 or 2 meetings, we will go to Lagos, his place, to do it. That is the class 75, inshallah. Mr. Benson, thank you very much. So he's a very, very honorable person. Honorable in the sense that he took the invitation very late, but he made it from Lagos yesterday, like Professor made it from Jos yesterday equally. So we thank Allah the Almighty for leaving us alive. And I'm sure the gentlemen that are peeping and the gentlewomen that will hear us on the radio will definitely know the value of all boys is all known. But when you hear something like this, you will add the value. The percentage that all boys do, we give it an additional percentage. And actually, we have heard about ourselves. We've come all the way, and incidentally, we found ourselves, or I find myself now in politics by coincidence. But every one of us here is a political being. So whether you are in politics formally or informally, like my friend was trying to skip away, you are in politics. In fact, politics is all about living well with people. Everybody is yours and you work. Don't say, what did my nation or my school or my state did for me? Think of what you have done to the nation, the state or the school. So the little you do, when you expose it, somebody will be encouraged. And it has come up to a stage whereby our children are now inhibiting the school. So, and God has spared our lives. It is very, very wonderful. And it's not wonderful to God at all. It's His own making. We thank Almighty, and I will especially thank my class members, 1975 chapter, who made it a duty upon themselves to make this session a very, very celebrative and very, very timely occasion. For my fellow recipient professor, we have been meeting ourselves, but because of his terribly busy schedule, we found it very, very difficult to meet. By the grace of the globalization, we do talk on mails and GSMs. But Allah in His infinite mercy has made us to meet here. And I hope some of us that are seeing him for the first time would wish to acclimatize with him. He's a very, very national figure. So please get to know him. Find him while you see him. He is a very good resource to the whole of Nigeria. I want to seize this opportunity to say once again, HASSOBA 75, HASSOBA national body, management staff or management team of Government Secondary School Hadiza, the Palace of His Royal Highness the Emma. Thank you very much and God bless. Assalamu alaikum.
His Excellency, the representative of His Excellency, the Governor of Jigawa State, Honorable Commissioner, Honorable Recipient, Honorable Chairman of HASSOBA, distinguished members of the high table, the principal of the school, distinguished invitees, my distinguished classmates. It actually gives me joy to stand here after a very long time of not being in the school. Hadiza Secondary School is a place that I will always live to remember, because this is where I got the foundation to become who I am today. Certainly you cannot dispute that fact. We have come a long way. We've been away from the school for almost 4 decades. That's 37 years, for almost 4 decades. A child that was born in 1975, by today he is 37 years old by my rough calculations. And 37 years in a man's life is not a joke. He's a fully grown up person, man. I'm actually excited to be here too, because I must lay credit to those people who tirelessly, in different forms, try to get me to get involved in this association. It is part of us. Mainly, I would like to congratulate my fellow recipient, Mohammad HAbib Barde Jahn, whom we also speak of phone, Sabu Isa, Mohammad Abdul, to name but a few of the class of 71-75. We are not trying to say the class 71-75 are the most active among the whole group, but certainly when a fact has to be told, the fact was laid there. The 1971-75 group has actually been very active. And I believe the only way we can move the school forward, the only way that we can contribute and give back to what was given to us, is for us to come together. And the Hadiza Secondary School, to the best of my knowledge, you may be surprised that Hadiza Secondary School has produced somebody that I know today is in South Africa as a lecturer. He was with me in Ahmadu Bello University. He was with me in Ahmadu Bello University teaching, but right now he's in South Africa in one of the universities with mechanical engineering. That was to tell you that in the old Kano State, in the old northern Nigeria, we had very sound education. The sound education means we can compete anywhere. After I left Hadiza Secondary School, I went to Federal School of Arts and Science, where I did my A-levels, lower 6, and left for abroad. I bet you most of the foundations I built on in that school was what I gathered from Hadiza Secondary School. It's who became saying, if we don't mention some of our teachers, right from our English teacher, Tim Torren, Ray Walker, Dr. Bay, you know, and it was in this same school that we were first introduced by our chemistry teacher to a rocket. We thought it was not possible. A rocket was launched from that was the launching pad outside there. It was launched from here. You can imagine how this can open a young boy's imagination. Now, what is a rocket? He told us it's going to fly. We all gathered around and he had to lit it on that day. We were all excited. So it all fired our imagination. It made us to become engineers, it made us to become chemists, it made us to become pharmacists, surveyors, business administrators, veterinary doctors, you name it, the school has produced it. So I believe, ladies and gentlemen, we shouldn't just limit our association, our gathering to only just a group of say, of this year to this. The only way we can give back to the school what the school gave us is for us to come together and get to know one another, because we are many all over Nigeria. And I don't think it's going to be something nigh and something unpleasant if we all gather and once in a while meet and have a good reunion and a good homecoming. I regard this as a homecoming because this is where I did my, what do you call it, when I was a teenager, I grew up to become whoever I am and left. And since then, actually, I've been to HAJ a couple of times, during the Sarauta, some of my friends here who became Sheriff some time ago, and after that, I've not been able to come to the school. And at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to congratulate and say, not just congratulate, say a big thank you to those who made it an effort to organize this. It's something very, it's quite touchy to the front. I'm not used to being celebrated. I'm not even used to celebrating birthdays. I'm not used to being celebrated. When I get things, I quietly hide in one place and wait to kill it. You know, wait over. But this is the first time I'm being kept in the spotlight. So alhamdulillah, the whole praise is to Almighty Allah who has taken us to his point. Once again, honorable gentlemen, I'd like to say thank you very much. I appreciate it and we try our best.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Land and Reflect Manager Jigawa State, the representative of the Secretary to the State Government, the representative of the Royal Highness the Emir of Hadiza, Professor Abdulwahab, one of the recipients, Executive Secretary, Land and Regional Planning, Jigawa State, the Accountant General, Jigawa State, Principal, Hadiza Government Secondary School, and the President of the HASSOBA. Permit me if I didn't pronounce it very well. Members that come together to rejoice with these two recipients, members of the press, student of the school, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I stand here on behalf of His Excellency, Dr. Alhaji CON, to deliver a brief speech, which I know many of the previous speakers have made mention of a lot of the achievement of this government. But I just want to highlight some key issues, and I go ahead as follows. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate the two recipients of this honor done to them by the Chapter 97 of the Old Boys Association of the school. Especially, also to 75. Especially, I also want to appreciate the honor done to one of my cabinet members. And I also use this opportunity to once again congratulate them. As all of you know, that the Jigawa State government has placed a priority to education. And a lot have been done and recorded in this direction. To mention but a few, you can agree with me, the free girl child education, which the Jigawa State is fully operating. And we are really achieving on that direction, because it has increased the enrollment and retention of girl child in schools. Secondly, the renovation and upgrading of schools, starting from the primary schools up to the tertiary level, as well as provision of textbooks to students from primary to tertiary institutions, upgrading the quality of food. I know the principal of this school will bear me a witness that a lot has been done in that direction. And also a special initiative that I always appreciate, that initiative to me is done only in Jigawa State, to identify 100 best students and also give them a special test, and if they are able to pass that examination, then they will be sponsored to go abroad to study sciences. It is a good initiative that I know some other states would like to emulate from Jigawa State. I don't want to, because I know the principal of the school has said a lot in this, and also I want to use this opportunity to thank the HASSOBA for playing a complementary role to the Jigawa State government in relation to education, because I have read through all the achievements, the contribution made by them from class 1971 to that to up to 1979. I thank you for complementing the role of state government in providing many social amenities in those schools. Thank you for that. Finally, HASSOBA as the key stakeholders in education, because education, we cannot work alone as a government. We need other stakeholders to collaborate with us, as well as contribute contribute their own quota to the development of education. I really appreciate your gesture, especially for honoring these two people, and also I wish them long life, God guidance, prosperity in all whatever they undertake in their life. And I also pray that we will have many of them among the society who have been given their contribution to the society in this school. So I wish you well, and I hope God mercy back to your respective destination. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
People laughed when I came back. It's a beautiful coincidence that my wife smoked.